Hello, you beautiful tarot maniacs. We are into chapter 16, and I think it's either part 7 or part 8. I should have just put the chapters in the titles, guys. Live and learn. This is content creation 101. I'm still learning how to do this. It's the first book that I've done a tarot tells the truth on. So give me some grace. Give me some grace. Like we give Britney. I'm not giving Kevin any grace. But chapter 16 is a pretty intense chapter. I'm going to try and get this one done as quickly as possible. This is the chapter in which Britney leaves rehab and goes absolutely berserk, shaves her head, and also we have the 5150 situation. So there's a lot of things I want to look at here. So some of the things in the book and some of the things not in the book. So chapter 16 opens up with Kevin saying he's just getting settled down. He's got Jenny, a new nanny. You're unemployed. Why are you not caring for your child? There's 2 of them. God forbid, should have to change a diaper or something. Or maybe get up at a reasonable hour. And Big Mike is there doing security, even though he says that the paparazzi doesn't know where he lives. How we know this is because Britney checks herself out of rehab and heads directly to his house. Now, did Kevin allow Britney to see the boys before this? Let's see what we get. Did he bring them to visit her? 2 of Wands. Queen of Cups. Phone calls, yes. FaceTimes, yes. I don't know if their FaceTime was a thing then. I don't think that he held up his end of the bargain. I think he didn't want those kids around her for whatever reason. What reason didn't he want them around her? 3 of Wands. You're not ready. 5 of Pentacles. And our final one. He wanted to be the big man. He wanted to show. He could run the show. He could run the show. Doesn't have a problem. He can run the show. He can be daddy as long as somebody's paying the bills. So he says that she came to the house and was absolutely freaking out. So there was a gate in front of the driveway. She pulls up. She's ringing the bell, yelling a bunch of things that didn't make sense. Big Mike says the only words that came through clearly, let me in, let me in, let me in. So she started climbing over the front gate and Big Mike had to stop her. Was Kevin really terrified? He was loving it. Da, 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 da. Finally in charge. He was going to stop her from calling the shots, and he was going to transform all of that through injustice. You see it here. Transform that. He was loving it. Da, 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 da. So what a douche. What Big Mike think in that moment? I believe Britney's family is there at the same time, or so it's claimed that her family is there. What was Big Mike thinking? What was Big Mike thinking about Britney in that moment? He thought she was a little nutty and felt bad, wanted to help her, but he knew who he was working for. He's now working for Kevin. So he did feel bad for her in that moment. He felt she needed a kind hand in that moment. And I do think that he was under the impression that if they just, let her in and let her see her kids, she would have calmed down. They could have reasoned with her. I think he was of that disposition, a little temperance, a little love and care would have gone a long way. So, who made the decision she was in no condition to be around the kids? Was it Kevin? Yep, poor judgment. What about her family? Her family, I think, thought it may have been better to get her in off the street. Were they concerned? What about the nanny? The nanny, not that she has. She was just in the middle of the fight. Would it have helped Britney to have been let in to see her children? Would it have helped? Yes. The reunion would have been very good for her. They would have been able to soften her and talk some reason into her. It would have been good for her. This was another brick in the wall. Another brick in the wall. So now Kevin's upset that she brought the paparazzi to his house. Now they're invading. Did he use this as an excuse to get a new house? Yeah, I can't live here anymore. It's her fault. She did it. I can't escape anyone. So now you guys have to fix it. She did this. She messed this up. And she's going to pay. What a douche. I think I've said that word more than I have ever said before in any reading or series. So the word on the street is that Britney shaved her head. Now, I've shaved my head a number of times in my life. It is absolutely a wild kind of thing. And I have a weird shaped head. I don't have a weird shaped head. Like people are like, oh, you have such a great head. Such a nicely shaped head. But, I would do it because my hair just had a bit much, like when you're a punk rock, like who cares? Like I wasn't a skinhead or anything like that. Just sometimes I had to like get my hair off my head. It's cold in the winter when you do it. Don't do it in the winter. Angus did that once, shaved his head in the winter. Why did she shave her head? Knight of Pentacles. If I could turn back time. I think she was afraid of, and this is a long held rumor, that she was afraid they would strand test her hair and see when things happened. Did Kevin put that fear in her head? Yep. He was the one who said it. We can take a strand of your hair. We can find out every minute of every day, every substance that you've taken. And that will serve us well enough to prove that you are unfit. Unfit. That was the goal. Did he come up with this unfit idea all by himself? I think he did. Oh, maybe not. This was the only way they could stop her. Otherwise, she was going to careen out of their control. They had to do something, even if it involved lying. So now she drives down the street and has an umbrella incident where she started attacking the paparazzi with her shaved head. And he says, seeing those photos later, I thought, this is what I was dealing with. For Britney, was it the substances or was it the situation? Substances, situation. It was both. Both. I can't really give her a pass on this. The transformation of what happened. Are we at a tipping point right now? Transformation of Britney. Two of Cups. Yes. Yeah. The Rage Britney comes out. Here's Rage Britney coming out. I'm coming out. And I do think there might have been a bit too much Adderall in her system, possibly something. But this is the birth of the Rage Britney, which is a very different Britney from what they had seen before. And this is one that tried to gain agency over her life and over the situations around her, but it was rage based. So I think this is a pretty bad situation. So now, a year later, 1 year later, I'm not making light of this, guys. I'm just trying to vary my tone. Lonnie was handling the exchanges with the kids. That happens sometimes. And the boys were supposed to spend the afternoon with her, and he was going to bring them back in the evening. Lonnie, that is. The nanny had written a note that Jaden had some eczema behind his knees. I have eczema. It is really annoying. And he was allergic to everything: dogs, shellfish, certain fabrics. And the nanny wrote this note. And I think he said she's from Barbados. And when it was dropped off, when the kids were dropped off, Britney wasn't even there yet. Lonnie left the boys with her nanny, so it should have been relayed to that nanny, in my opinion, having been in quarters with nannies. So Lonnie, hours later, Lonnie went back to pick the boys up, and this is the one that we all know about. Brittany's nanny met him at the door, gave him Preston, and said that Britney had locked herself in the bathroom with Jaden. Is that what the nanny said? Did the nanny say Britney has locked herself in the bathroom with Jaden? No, that's not what was said. Did she say Britney is giving Jaden a bath for his eczema? No, she didn't say that either. So he says she was refusing to hand him over, saying all this wild-ish, that Jaden was being ABSUED at his house. Did she say that? That is a lie. So Lonnie called him right away, and he was afraid. He was locked in the bed. Jaden was locked in the bathroom with his mom. He calls his lawyer. So someone called the police. Who called the police? Who are you going to call? Someone called the police. Did Kevin call the police? 3 of Pentacles. Did Mark Kaplan call the police? Mark Kaplan did. He had an agent of his call on behalf of Kevin. Oh, Kevin, you are such a snake. So there's a little shuffling of the kids going around. Lonnie, I think somebody takes, he had his assistant. Kevin has an assistant. His assistant went and picked up Preston to bring him home. Why didn't Kevin go? Why didn't Kevin go to the house to get his son? Or sons? Well, big man, he was going to say that his lawyer advised him not to go. Was there a restraining order on him? No, but she said she didn't want him there. So no paper. No paper. So he was pacing in his house. They finally get out of the bathroom. They bring her out on a gurney. So this I have a problem, because when they finally got her out of the bathroom, it was dark outside. They brought her out on a gurney, strapped down, wearing a damn straitjacket. The image of her being wheeled out like that, completely out of it, haunted me. She was incoherent, clutching Jaden, refusing to let him go. The police had to pry him from her arms. I'm going to read that to you again. They brought her out on a gurney, strapped down, wearing a damn straitjacket. She was incoherent, clutching Jaden, refusing to let go. The police had to pry him from her arms. A, none of us saw that. I didn't see that on the footage. And B, if you're in a straitjacket, you don't have use of your arms. So there's a little bit of back and forth. They take Jaden to the hospital and make sure he's okay. They have to check him out. And then when they are done, the doctors tell him he has to, or the police tell him he has to go back and get the other son and bring him back to the hospital. So everybody is back and forth to the hospital. They've got to strip him down, make sure he doesn't have any bruises on him or anything like that. And now Britney is on the 5150 hold. So it is an involuntary psychiatric detention for individuals sectioned in England, deeming a danger to themselves or others. It was the first of 2 such holds that month. He had never witnessed anything like it. How do you even begin to process that? All I knew was that I had to stay strong for my kids, even though I was barely holding it together. He says that the baby was a little bit quiet for the next few days, doesn't know what happened. Can't forget how it feels. How was he feeling in this moment? Is there any empathy for Britney at all? No, good. He doesn't have any power over it. He can do whatever he wants. The magician and the son. This is exactly what he wanted. This is exactly what he wanted, guys. He wanted her to be vilified. He wanted her to look bad. He's been doing it and setting the pace the whole time. Oh, the day after Britney was placed on her hold, his lawyer files for emergency sole custody. Even though the request wasn't permanent, it was not a permanent request. I think the judge gives him, he says he wants 50-50 custody. So is that a lie? Is that a lie? Did Kevin Federline want sole custody? Did he want sole custody? Did he want sole custody of those children at this point? 2 of Wands in reverse, Page of Cups. Yep. Flamethrower. Page of Wands in reverse is a flamethrower. He wanted sole custody of those kids. Sole custody. That's what he was looking for. And I think Mark Kaplan was telling him the same thing. He claims that California courts lean toward 50-50 custody just because it's cleaner. They're doing it here in New Jersey too. So it was a heavy situation. And even though I wasn't initially fighting for sole custody, the court placed it upon me. The court. So many people have so much sway over Kevin Federline's existence. He has no power. Can't do anything. But he's a rap superstar. Big cause. They saw this was the best way for well-being. Did it ever occur to the courts to drug test Kevin? Mr. Big Frank bringing the weed. 4 of Pentacles. They didn't want to complicate the situation. The court did not want to complicate the situation, having him test for weed. Weed is, just easy. California was fine. The court hearings were a little bit bananas. She showed up in a wedding dress, the same one that she wore on the night they got married. She delayed the entire proceeding by driving around the building for an hour with everybody waiting. Then she ran over a deputy's foot. Woman had to go to the hospital. They were there for crowd control. Every time she stepped in the courtroom, it was a performance. So is this true? Did she just come in like completely bananas? Yeah, she was in bad shape, guys. She was in bad shape. This was how she fought. She just didn't fight well for her kids. It was just a mess. That night she locked herself in the bedroom with Jaden and ended up under a 5150 hold was the tipping point. Combined with everything else, the wedding dress, the tardiness, the disruptive behavior, it became clear she wasn't in a place to handle the responsibility of custody. For me, it was painful to watch. Fact? And it was more information that he was, more data that he was filing. This wasn't the person I'd fallen in love with, the person I'd built a family with. Oh, how many families you building, Kevin? It was someone spiraling, someone struggling to hold it together. And in the end, her actions spoke louder than anything I could have said under oath. While it was heartbreaking to see her like that, it gave me the clarity to fight for what was best for Preston and Jaden. When it came time for the judge to make a ruling, I laid everything out. I was honest about what I'd seen, what I'd heard, what I was worried about. I didn't drag her through the mud. Did you not? Did you not? Did Kevin strive to make her look as bad as possible? He did. I used to love her, but I had to name that tune. He wanted, in destroying her, he felt powerful. He felt like he had agency over his life. So when she acted up, he dropped those little word bombs like accountability. Accountability. He did drag her through the mud by not picking her up out of the mud. He just told the truth. Did he tell the truth? Whole truth and nothing but the truth. Knight of Wands. He told his truth. Kevin Federline told his truth. So I am going to leave it there. This was an intense chapter. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I will be back with the next installment, and I'll try and keep track of them. But in the next one, we are going to be in chapter 17. And this is where Kevin starts to rebuild his life and says how difficult everything is. And he gives up his rap superstar aspirations and realizes that he's living in a lifestyle and a whirlwind of partying. Oh, poor Kevin. So difficult. So let me know what you think of Kevin at this point. And let me know if you think I'm being too hard on him. I want to know if you guys think I'm being too hard. I'm trying not to be. But I just am so disgusted by all of his actions. So chapter 17 for the next one. Hope you're enjoying this. Let me know in the comments. I'll see you guys in the next one.